Welcome to another episode of Lights Camera Pop. I am one half of the dynamic duo, Rich Wayne, no relation to Bruce. And with me, as always, is the genius, the mad scientist himself.
Mike Smith, how's everybody doing, guys?
That was such a weird intro. I'm so sorry. That just sounded very... I don't even know what I was going for. It's like, we'll just kind of roll with it. And
I liked
it
it.
kind of came out really bad. Oh my
I
god.
dug it. So.
Yeah, okay, cool. How's it going, man?
Not too bad. Not too bad. How about you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I am sweating balls today. It is ridiculously hot. Now, just so you know, guys know, I don't know what tomorrow is going to be like when we upload this, but we are recording on Sunday, June 22nd, and we'll upload this tomorrow on the 23rd. So today, know, while you're listening to this tomorrow, that it is hot as shit today.
I think I last looked, it was like 92 degrees.
And I saw on the news, which I typically don't watch the news, and I will say that first and foremost. Back in 2020, I was so tired of news that like I stopped following anything. WTAE, WPXI, Good Morning America. Like unless it was entertainment related, I stopped following. So I really don't know what's going on too much in the world. Current events, stuff like that. Of course, when you turn on TikTok or Facebook or whatever, you'll see somebody commenting stuff. But aside from that, I don't really pay attention. When I wake up, and if it's raining out, awesome. If it's sunny out, awesome. And I kind of roll with it.
Now, I, on the other hand, am an absolute news whore. I am a news junkie. I am a self-professed news junkie. I watch politics and international relations and science and technology like it's the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl and I'm down by 2. So like I love it, and that's the only like sports analogy that I'll ever do because I don't follow sports whatsoever, with the exception of fighting. So that's pretty much about it.
Well, so
yeah, I'm a news nerd, but I don't really bring news into this side of the things, just
right,
because of
unless it's entertainment.
Right, exactly right.
But what I was gonna say is like I had on just to have some background on.
Okay.
Being that we had moved, we don't have actual cable anymore. Basically, cut the cord. Said, you know what, I'm done with this. Don't need it. And I will say it is a lot different. It's taking a lot of getting used to because there's only so many times you can just turn on reruns of Friends or The Office or Family Guy and just kind of let it go in the background. And before you start knowing...
Don't say that to my wife because that's all she can do. Oh my God. She could live on that. Like she could absolutely live on that.
See, and I mean, that's the thing is I don't mind it. I can too. But when it starts to come down to like that money thing where it's like, do we really need it with all the streaming sites that are out there? So it's like, okay, we're trying this now. Well, Pittsburgh has a streaming app called Very Local, and it's a lot of local stuff throughout the state. And WTAE is actually on there. So it's like, okay, we'll throw on the news just for some background music or sound. And there was the weather on, and they said that the feels today was going to be like 99 to 100. And so, yeah,
it's definitely up there.
Yeah, I went outside spraying because we've been getting these gnats, and I think it's because like being that our backyard stays saturated, no matter what the weather is out. Being that it stays, I think all the bugs kind of work their way toward the house. So
yeah, my basement's always saturated too, but I'm literally like I can look out my kitchen and look over and see the river. So I'm like where I am, I'm like you said, I'm always wet.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's just so I was out with some ortho spray, just kind of going around the perimeter of the house, doing the inside of the house, and man, I was only out there for maybe 15 minutes doing that 20 minutes, and I just was dripping sweat. It was insane.
My wife is like, I swear she's like part camel because like she this doesn't bother her.
Mhm.
Like, all right, a little bit of backup, a little bit of backup this for this week. I'm laid up for the next 6 weeks. I had some surgery done on my wrist and my hand and my elbow, and not going to go into it, but like I can't really do a whole heck of a lot of manliness for the next 6 weeks, so I'm kind
Sure,
of
it
just
happens.
laying low. So the wife had to go, and Amy had to go and cut the grass today. And she was just like, "Yeah, it's cool." I was like, "It's like 3,000 degrees," and she's just like, whatever, And I'm just like, "How do you do that?" And then we went to her in-laws. We went to the in-laws' house. They went to visit her family for a little bit for dinner and all.
Okay.
And she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go outside and sit on the porch and read." And I'm just like, "You're gonna melt." I'm like, yeah, I'll be in here with the air conditioning. Like, I don't care.
Right.
Like, I'm sorry, I am not doing that. But she despises the winter. So she's just like, I got to soak up as much sun as I possibly can now. She's like, before the winter hits. So I'm like, you do you, girl. You do you. I
Right.
don't mind the winter and I don't mind the summer. But I just hate the high extreme heat and the high extreme cold. Like,
Right.
those two just annoy the snot out of me. But it is what it is. Everyone has their own weirdo proclivities,
Absolutely. No,
and that's her, man.
that's kind of how
But
I think everybody does that though. And I'm the same way too. Cause like I hate the cold. I loathe the cold. Me and cold, no, we do not mix whatsoever. I just hate the idea of walking outside, my face hurting immediately. It pisses me off to no end. But then,
I'm just so glad I'm no longer working out in the field anymore. I
right,
mean, like, 'cause that sucked, like,
in the elements,
working,
it's
like,
right.
oh man, like building frac stacks and putting together all that sort of stuff, like out in the, like doing what I did.
Hmm.
Man, that's brutal. I work in a shop now. Like, I wear a lot of different hats at work, but like, I work in a shop now. So, still sucks, still hot, still cold, but at least there's some variedness to it. It's
Yeah,
not like it's horrendous.
right. Um, I I really didn't do a whole lot again, other than this. We just getting back to just watch. I went and watched. I'm sorry, I'm just stuttering a lot. Jesus God, but let's see. Let's go. I'll talk about what I've watched in a little bit.
Okay.
Um, because I'm gonna be honest, like I think a lot of our topic today, I will say a lot of our topic today is gonna be some comic book talk, some old stuff, some new stuff coming out. Wanted to definitely bring some stuff to your attention. I do want to give a couple shout outs though, because let me tell you, when I started the horror of it all back in the day,
Mhm.
okay, I have an episode on my laptop. It was almost a lost episode. Actually, I have maybe 4 episodes. Well, 3 or 4. And some of them were just horrendous that I couldn't put out to the public. Just mainly maybe some things that I said that I didn't feel comfortable with by saying. And it's like, maybe I shouldn't. And I can't edit. I don't like to edit the podcast because it takes away the rawness of it.
Right.
And so I never edited. Well, then there was an episode. One of the coolest things that I mean, no, I don't want to say one of the coolest things because when I did the horror show, I got to talk to a lot of really awesome freaking people. Uh, one person, it was a group that I got to interview. I got to talk to them. We had a conversation, and it was an underground rock metal screamo rap group that's part of the Magic Ninja Entertainment sub label. Welcome to the Underground, and the band is called Oh the Horror. And
Oh, cool.
I got to talk to these guys, and they were super cool, but the conversation was just so dry, and I don't know if it was just my nerves talking to them, which is weird because like I I've talked to some pretty big people in pop culture, and yet that this for some reason threw me through a loop, and that could have been one of the things why I didn't release it. So I still have these episodes lying around on the laptop, but there was a pilot episode that I did. Keith, who was my co-host before, big shout out to him. he was not the original host, the original co-host. The original co-host was going to be a mutual friend of ours, Brian Medlock. We sat down. I recorded the first episode with him, and we had it was a good show. I mean, it was pretty good, raw, organic. Um, and what's funny about Brian is like he had gone to school with my kids.
When I talked about Brian last week on last episode, that's the Brian I was talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I wanted to give him a shout out because when yesterday I got like a message and I was like, I kind of opened it up. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And he started telling me about Tron and how he's a big fan of Tron Legacy, and as am I. And he was always talking about how he has to defend the movie to all the haters about it. But I tell you what, like I love Tron Legacy so much. Like I even through Disney movie rewards that they used to be a thing. I got a big giant movie grade poster. It was like 27 by 36, like one of those giant movie posters that you put in the window of Tron awesome. Legacy. And it was like a reversible one too. So it was pretty cool. And it hung in my son's room for the longest time. But yeah.
Getting back to Brian real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Brian is a very, very, very good friend of mine. We've grown pretty close over the last, I don't know, maybe a year and a half, 2 years. And he gives me he gives me a hand a lot whenever I do different conventions and stuff like that. Like if my wife can't go, he'll come in and he'll go with me. We'll do like record shows together. We've done comic book shows together. We've done Creature Fest together. Me and Brian have gotten really, really close. And he's honestly one of my closer friends now. And he and I were supposed to go see Fear last Friday, which is an old punk band, at down at Preserving, but I wasn't able to go because I busted my wing, so I had to get surgery.
Yeah.
So, but Brian went down and he had a really good time. Like I said, like Brian is he's a really, really, really good dude, and I want to get him on here as well.
Yes, I think so too. I think that'd be really good to have him on.
And he's a huge fan of our show, which is great.
And yeah, that's what we started talking, and he said he really loves the show, really likes it, and he said that he made an apology to me because his work schedule at the time was like I'm just getting all kind of weird text messages. At the time, he was working a pretty strenuous job, a demanding job that was like kept him not able to commit to the show, and that's the reason why. And I'm like, dude, I appreciate it. There's no reason to apologize because things worked out the way they were supposed to be. Everything happens for a reason.
Right. He's honestly genuinely one of the coolest people out there. I love him to death. Great dude. Big sweetheart. Great comic book guy. Knows a lot. Knows his stuff.
Yeah.
And he
went to the Savini school.
Because he's always like, how do you come across all this crazy stuff? Because he comes down to my house all the time, and he's just like looks around. He's just like, holy crap, where'd you get this? Holy crap, where'd you get this?
Yeah.
He's just like, he just posted a big thing on his Instagram, which is Brian the Misfit. Check his Instagram out too. I mean, give Brian a follow. And you'll like his stuff too.
Yeah, I think so. And also he did go to the Savini school, so he has some makeup experience as well, special effects, which that was another reason what drew me into asking him about doing the show. And then another shout out I want to give to I was working at Walmart. I typically Saturdays I work 3 Walmarts. Of course, this wasn't one of it was Friday when I ran into him. Another mutual friend of ours is JJ, Joe Augustine.
Oh, JJ.
Yeah, he's another one. He's like, he
Awesome.
pulls it up on his phone. He's like, dude, look, I'm following your show, loving it. He says, you guys need another co-host.
I know, like I run into him at Dairy Queen downtown like every once in a while, and he's always like, "Ah, amazing, like your show's great," you know. So I love the fact that like a lot of our old friends check it out and everything like it. Another one, okay, since we're on this roll, Jason Marhefka. I mean, like Marhefka has been listening to the show. He's been giving me tips, especially when we were having that issue with our tech issue that we were
Which
dealing with
hopefully
with the
that's,
reverb.
yeah, hopefully
You
that's
know,
been going away now.
I think I think we got that nipped in the bud
I
when we
hope.
did our little test run. But he's the one. I'll be dead honest with you. He's the one that really kind of planted the seed for me to do a podcast a couple of years ago. He was talking about doing one, and which he does one. He does a wrestling podcast, and I am so sorry, Jason. The name of your show just left my head. But he does a really good podcast on like WWF type of wrestling and everything like that. And he went to me one day and he's like you should do a podcast. He's like I think you would do I think you would do a good show. So um it's just called That Wrestling Podcast. I had to look it up. Check
Okay.
out That Wrestling Podcast. It's everywhere. It's on YouTube, stuff like that. I got to give him a plug. I mean, like he's just a great guy all around.
Listen,
And
I sent
he
him a
was
friend request. He probably looked at it like, who the hell is this? He's probably like, I have no idea who this guy is. Cancel.
yeah. So he like he's like you should really consider doing one. He's like you got some cool stories. He's like check it out. And I kind of just like cashed that away, and then kind of always wanted to do it, just kind of never got around to it until me and you started doing this beautiful bastard.
Yeah.
So
um, that's awesome though. So that wrestling podcast, is that
yes,
what
it's called
that's,
That Wrestling Podcast.
I'm bringing it up right. It comes right up on my feed, and I'm actually going to follow it right now.
And he apparently like with that podcast, like they just started off like during COVID, just some friends like talking about wrestling, turned it into a podcast, and then like apparently like they have never missed a week since they've been doing it.
That's awesome. That's the
So
kind.
I mean, like
That's what that's goals for us, I think. But
right.
and even if we do miss a Sunday, hopefully we'll make it up for it throughout the week. So
Yeah, definitely. Even if we have to like record early and put out whatever, because I mean, like I do, like I said, I'll be doing that horror show up in Erie, so I won't be coming home till Sunday, and I won't get home till Sunday evening, like late. I can guarantee you by the time I get home and everything like that, after several days of being um like doing a show, I'm not gonna want to like do a record. But I was thinking about maybe trying to see if like I can maybe do the show while I'm up there. Like we'll figure that out.
yeah, we'll figure it out. And if not,
that.
what we'll do, maybe just throwing this out there, maybe contact Brian, maybe contact Joe, somebody maybe just to kind of like fill in, just to kind of do it. And
that would even be great. Like like have a guest host.
Yes, I think that would be pretty cool. That would be a pretty cool idea. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
I got an idea.
Okay.
Since we're spitballing anyway, have like you said, Joe or Brian or whoever, like be the guest host, and then like we could even do like a Zoom call, and just like do a recording while I'm up there, like on Saturday or something like that.
Yeah.
And just have like a little thing, and you can just like put that in. We'll figure something out. I'm sure. Like we're not dumb, and we have plenty of time. So.
Absolutely. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah, we'll burn that bridge later.
Yeah. So one of the things that I have been doing lately too is I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, and I try to veer away from a lot of podcasts that is pertaining to, like when I did the horror show, I stopped listening, and which is sad because I do like podcasts, I enjoy them, but there was a group of friends that I became over with throughout when they were podcasting. They still have a podcast, and when I started one, I stopped listening because I didn't want my show to be similar to theirs or anything like that. And I felt like I would be ripping somebody off. So I kind
Right.
of steered away from that. But something caught my attention the other day, and I do want to just give them a quick little plug. The Pittsburgh Film Office has a podcast. I did not know this. I do follow PGH on the PGH office on TikTok, and they had posted that their podcast is welcoming Kevin Smith. So naturally, I'm going, okay, I gotta check this out. So they have their own podcast called Screen Perspectives, and they are basically 15 to 20-minute episodes with people from Pittsburgh or filming in Pittsburgh, kind of giving you an idea of the industry and how it's not an easy industry to get into. So yeah, it's definitely one that I think everybody should check out.
That's
Screen Perspectives. Yeah. I'm actually right now on episode 9, season 1 with Lloyd Kaufman from Troma Films.
Troma.
Yeah,
That's awesome. I listen to a lot of podcasts, but again, going back to, I don't listen to any podcasts on pop culture. None.
Yeah.
Zero. I don't listen to anything on comic books. I don't listen to anything on movies. Anything. Very rarely do I listen to some on music. Like I might listen to something on like I don't know, like some hardcore or something like that. Every once in a while, if something tickles my fancy.
Yeah.
I listen to mostly like nerd stuff. Like I'm not joking when I say nerd stuff. I mean like uber nerd stuff. I listen to stuff from like physics to engineering podcasts.
I mean,
I
there's
know
nothing wrong with that.
people are like, oh my god, and then like politics.
They're like, how do we
that's
shut
pretty
this
much what I
off?
listen to. And then every once in a while, like it'd be funny because like you'll hear me like I'll be listening to that, and then I'll listen to like serial killers.
Yeah.
So I keep people on their toes at work.
No,
So,
I can imagine. I can only imagine.
So no one messes with me. They're like he was just listening to a podcast on like, faster than light travel, and now he's listening to a podcast on serial killing. It's like, yeah. Be like, yeah, that's Mike. Don't mess with him.
But yeah, why does he have the DuckTales theme song playing in the background? I don't understand. Yeah. What's going on?
Did you listen to the noise that he was listening to on the way in? That's not music. That was Nightmare to a soundtrack.
Oh shit. So one of the things that I did the other day, I just want to throw out there because I haven't, just breaking into some what I did with movies. I went and watched The Faculty again. I did a rewatch on it. I rewatch it every so often. And to me, The Faculty is the horror version of The Breakfast Club. It really made me feel like, because you had each character that is of their own unique personality, and they all become stronger when they're together. And that's kind of what it was for me watching this. And it doesn't get old. And I'm going to tell you what really drew me to doing this rewatch. Because usually every other time it's always like, I just really like this movie. I'm going to throw it on and watch it. I don't know what it was and why I did not realize this forever since it came out. And I've been watching it. I knew that it was written by Kevin Williamson, who wrote the Scream movies and Dawson's Creek and whatnot. I knew that, but why my memory blocked this out? I never realized it was directed by Robert Rodriguez of the Spy Kids fame, Desperado stuff. It never registered to me. And when I saw that, I'm like, oh, so I'm going to go back and rewatch it again. And, after reading his book recently, Rebel Without a Crew, I had just read this, and it's so funny, like how much of like all his techniques that he used in his very first film, El Mariachi, and his short film Bedhead, just all the stuff that he's put into this movie now. It's so amazing. And I had a little bit more of a a greater appreciation for it. But yeah, again, it's such a good movie. If you haven't seen The Faculty, I don't know why you haven't. Um,
I've seen that movie years ago. I probably only watched it once or twice, and that was probably within the first year or two that it come out, and I haven't seen it since. Not that like I had anything against it. It's
right? No,
just
no.
it's a good movie. It's just I just haven't went back and revisited it. Like tonight is the tonight we're gonna go and rewatch Jaws since it's the 50th anniversary of Jaws. Since yeah, we will do that. Like Amy and I will watch that tonight. She's looking forward to that. That's like I think her pretty much favorite movie.
Oh wow, that was like I think
Yes.
one of the first horror movies. I mean, quote unquote horror movies that my daughter Maddie had watched, and she
You know,
loves that movie to this day. She
Amy
loves that
loves
movie.
it.
It's a great movie, and you know it's I've been talking about this not long ago too. Is somebody said, well, why don't they remake Jaws? They can't. It
No.
because if you think about it, look at every shark movie that's come out. The Meg, Deep Blue Sea, 6 meters deep, or whatever it's called. The Shallows. Um, they're all basically Jaws.
I don't say every like they have remade Jaws. Like you just said, you just listed every
Yeah.
single version, and then Piranha and all those other movies as well. You know, I mean, like they're all Jaws. Heck, even Lake Placid is a lake version of
Well,
Jaws
what I
with an
mean is,
alligator.
like when it comes to Jaws, and it being that the main character is a shark, the main antagonist is a shark, protagonist, antagonist, I don't know. The
Yeah.
main villain is a shark. I mean, you could easily have taken The Shallows, okay, remade or made that movie, and instead of calling it The Shallows, called it Jaws 5 or Jaws
Yep.
6. It's just that's a movie that I think would be a hard sell to do a remake of, because any
Uh,
movie that involves a shark will always forever be a Jaws knockoff.
and Jaws is so ingrained in the zeitgeist of American pop culture that you don't want to go and attach any other name to it if it's not an actual Jaws piece.
Right.
You know, like Jaws is such a great movie. Um, now, what do you think of the other ones? Jaws 2, 3, whatever. Uh, I I I I hated them.
Listen,
Like my wife loves all of them, including the stupid one where they're in freaking Jamaica. And I'm like, how do you like this? It's
wasn't
dumb.
it Jaws the Revenge, the fourth one, where it like
Yeah.
the shark somehow like traveled all the way across the globe just to find the family?
Yes. You know, I'm like, and then or
and
the
Michael
stupid
Caine's in
one
it,
with
so
yeah. Yeah, and then the stupid ass one with the freaking Cindy and Sandy, the freaking
the
dolphins and
Listen, I'm gonna say I love that one. Jaws 3 3D is
yeah.
probably one of. Okay, so I saw Jaws 3 before I saw the original Jaws.
Okay, you get a pass on that just because like I understand when it comes to when people say I saw this first. I get that. Then that is your benchmark.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like I get that. Like so I do get that. But if you saw Jaws first and then you went back and saw Jaws 3, then you say Jaws 3 is a superior film. I'm gonna beat you with a stick. Like yeah, I'm just gonna roll up a newspaper, whack you in the nose, and say no.
Rub my nose in it.
You know, but I mean, like, I don't know. Like I said, I love the Jaws franchise. I do.
Yeah.
I love the Jaws movie, the first movie, all the rest of them. Like 1 and 2, like 1 phenomenal, 10 out of 10. 2 I could watch. 3 if it's on, it's background noise, and then anything after that, I'm like, nope.
Well, after 3, there was only one other one, which is the
Yeah,
Revenge. And after that,
yeah,
they were
but
probably just like, yeah, we're just gonna start making more shark movies that aren't titled Jaws.
I would rather see like Sharknado considered a Jaws movie.
Oh dear God. Listen, I ain't gonna knock that movie because you have to give it credit for originality.
I 100% agree with that. I think those movies are so amazingly awfully awesome that I could watch them all day long.
Well, and
All of
those
them.
are the kind of movies that we grew up with. I mean, because if you think
Right.
about it, like the Trauma films, the Full Moon films, like it's one of those just satire, just parody of a film, and you could tell it doesn't take itself seriously just by the name.
Exactly right.
Like
And
Lavalantula and like those kind of movies. I love
I
those B movie.
love those.
Yeah,
Any B-rated movie that comes down the pike, I am going to lunch meat. That movie was so awfully awesome.
yes. I haven't seen that movie in
Um,
years.
I probably haven't seen it since high school. Um, Six String Samurai, which is probably the stupidest film I've ever seen in my life, but I love it. And if you've never seen it, do yourself a favor and watch Six String Samurai. Have you ever heard of it?
I've never heard of it. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh man. Okay. Elvis dies and they need a new king of rock and roll. There was a nuclear war and a guy that's dressed like Buddy Holly is trying to get to Vegas to be the new king of rock and roll. And he has to go through hell literally. It's the dumbest movie you've ever seen in your life. And there's like sword fighting and there's a Mad Max scene in it where they're shooting bubble gum at each other. It's so dumb but phenomenal at the same time.
Oh my god.
And it's called The Sixth String Samurai. And there's this little Asian kid in it, like who doesn't talk. And then when he finally does talk, all he talks about is cars and motors. That's all he talks about.
So the guy who I'm looking at it right now, Jeffrey Falcon,
Mm-hmm.
is the guy who wrote it and is also the guy, Jeffrey Falcon, who plays Buddy. He plays the main guy. So he wrote it for himself and he does all of his own stunts in it. So that's pretty awesome.
It's
1998.
fantastically. It's so bad, it's phenomenal.
I love movies like that so bad that they're good.
And there's this really weird band called the Red Elvises,
Mm-hmm.
and they're all Russian with the exception of the drummer, I believe he's from California, and they sing like rockabilly songs, and they're in the band, and like they have like songs like "I Want to See You Belly Dance" and stuff like that, and it's like "I want to see you belly dance." I mean, like they're great in and of itself. So they do the soundtrack. The movie's crazy, and it is a 10 out of 10 for insanity.
I love it. I love it. Back on some movie news though, did you see? I think this was the biggest one of the week. Excuse me. John Barenthal. Of course, we've been talking. Well, we haven't really talked about it, but the internet's been buzzing that Spider-Man 4, Brand New Day, is gonna be starting to shoot soon. And Tom Holland's coming back. But it was just announced, no AI, no fake news bull crap. John Barenthal's Punisher from the Daredevil series on Netflix, the Punisher series on Netflix, he is going to reprise his role as the Punisher in Brand New Day.
Oh,
I am so excited for that because John
fantastic.
Barenthal is an amazing actor to begin with. And
Yes.
his role of the Punisher, it's up there with Thomas Jane's, I think. And I like them both. I really like Thomas Jane's version of the Punisher, but it's Tobey Maguire versus Tom Holland. It's just,
I agree.
You like them both equally and for different reasons, I guess. I'm pretty excited about
fantastic.
that. I am really excited about that. With some kind of break into some comics and kind of get into what we were texting about the other day. A couple of comic news that I seen coming out is we were talking about the Deadpool and Batman crossover. Well, Marvel and DC also announced another crossover that's got me even more excited than the Batman Deadpool one. And it's Daredevil and the Green Arrow. Now, I've always... Go ahead.
That will be really cool. I think that's going to be... I think that has more of an opportunity to be a cooler story than the Batman Deadpool.
I've always thought that if they were to do a crossover with Dead or Daredevil, I always thought that it would be with Nightwing. But I do
I
love
could
the
see
idea.
that.
I do love the idea with Green Arrow because Green Arrow, I don't think is really a wildly used character anymore.
He's not. I mean, like, he's C-list character. Let's face it. Like he's not a big character. Hasn't been a big character since the '80s.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'd like to see it. Like, hopefully this does the same that Iron Man did for the Iron Man comic book. I mean, like Iron Man. Let's face it. Iron Man wasn't a huge member of the MCU. I mean, like he was a C-list
Yeah.
character in the MCU for years. I don't care what anybody says. Fight me on it.
No,
He
you're
wasn't
right.
that big of a character. But the movie came out and it catapulted him, and now he's an A-list character. Um, and I like Green Arrow is another one of those characters that is a C-list character. Great storyline, cool story arcs, great stories, cool everything about him, but just I don't think they've ever really given him his due. You know,
Yeah.
I really don't think they've ever really explored the character as much as they could have, and they should. So hopefully this, um, hopefully this opens up the Green Arrow world and has more people look into it.
Well, and I hope so. And I really like so far. I mean, I haven't seen very many good positive feedback about the upcoming Superman movie. I think it looks fun. Um, but I think James Gunn has like a bigger plan for the DC universe, this new universe that he's building. With Lobo coming out, or Lobo making an
Yeah,
appearance in the Supergirl movie.
yeah,
But from what I understand, from what I was reading, that which I love this, Kyle Rayner, he was my favorite Green Lantern after Hal Jordan,
okay,
and he is. They're talking about bringing him and Constantine.
that'll be great.
Yeah, one
That'll be
hundred
great.
percent.
And like, now I haven't heard anything bad about the new Superman movie. I haven't heard anything good about the new Superman movie. But I'm actually really looking forward to the new Superman movie. I really am. And I'm not the biggest Superman guy. Like
Me either.
he's never been like I've never been like this. Like, oh, I collect Superman books and I go after Superman books. Like he was never like a character that I was always like too keen on. Like I always looked at Superman as like, the ultimate I don't want to say good boy.
Yeah,
He's like the
the Boy
ultimate
Scout.
he was nothing but a Eagle Scout.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Um and I appreciate it and I understand why DC keeps the Superman character so close to their chest,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't really let a lot of wiggle room with him, because I mean, like, Superman built DC Comics. I don't care. Like he is the architect. He is the blueprints for all things superhero. So they kind of cloister him a bit. And I get it. I understand it. And I'm looking forward to it. And I want to see Crypto on the screen
I
too.
think Crypto seems pretty awesome in this. I think that's what a lot of people are really looking forward to. That's the primary big thing that I think everyone's looking forward to seeing is Crypto.
Yeah, I want to see Crypto. Like I think it'd be neat to see Crypto on the big screen. Um, you know,
It's the first
so I
time
think,
ever.
yeah, I think that'll be kind of a cool thing to see.
Well, now I say the
Um,
first time ever. I've never watched like Lois and Clark. I've never watched any of the Superman TV series. Did Crypto ever make an appearance in any of those small screen shows?
I'll be honest with you, I can't answer that as well, because it's not that I didn't watch them. I did watch it, but I never watched it to the point like, I would watch it here and there.
Mm-hmm.
My cousin was a big fan of them, but I never was. Um, like I said, like I would watch it here, I'd watch it there, but I never got into like I had to sit down and watch the whole series. Like that, I just never did. Um, so I don't know if Crypto ever made a big ever made any sort of a debut on the screen at all.
So yes, I started to look, and Crypto made in the final episode of Superman and Lois. Crypto plays a significant role interacting with Clark and even receiving praise from him as Superdog.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
he was in an episode of Smallville, which the episode was called Crypto, and he was of course in the animated series. And
Oh, okay.
they of course did the Superdog movie too, or the Legion of Super Dogs or something, Super Pets.
Yeah, I knew that, but I never really
Then again,
considered that.
yeah, I was just gonna say I don't think that really counts.
Yeah, I really don't put that as canon.
No, no,
You
I
know.
don't think so either. Um, other comic news. Excuse me. Oh, two things, and then I wanted to ask you about something. So
Okay.
a while ago, like during Deadpool versus Wolverine, when that
Hmm.
was coming out, the biggest talk was Taylor Swift. We mentioned this before. Taylor Swift playing Dazzler.
Yes.
And now there's a new rumor that Sabrina Carpenter, the new it girl in music, is rumored to be in talks to be Dazzler. I don't know if how much I believe that. I just think it's like people just fishing, trying to get some kind of reaction, clickbait, stuff like that. But
I think
time will tell.
yeah, I think that's a fishing thing. I really do. I think it's clickbait. Um, it wouldn't surprise me,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't see it happening. But it wouldn't surprise me. The only reason why I think like people are backing off of the whole Taylor is just because of that whole big lawsuit that's going on with Ryan Reynolds' wife and the was it um,
Blake
the
Lively and stuff like that.
yeah, Blake Lively,
Yes.
yeah, like that whole thing there, and and so I'm just wondering if there's a big fallout between Blake Lively and Taylor because they were close, and
Mm-hmm.
if that's all falling apart and all that sort of stuff, and people are just kind of trying to throw gas on a fire. They're trying to throw like I think people are trying to make a fire out of something that's not there, and seeing if it gets traction. That's my personal thought of it.
Yeah,
And
possibly.
Sabrina Carpenter opened for um, Taylor Swift on her Eras tour at one point in time. Sabrina Carpenter and Taylor are friends. They're acquaintances. They're pretty good. They're pretty good friends and acquaintances. So I just think people are just trying to make a mountain out of a molehill, or just try to make something that's actually not there, and see what happens.
Right.
That's
I,
that's where I see it.
I can see that. And lastly, um, this kind of got me excited. There is a 4-issue comic series coming out, and
Hmm.
I was like, oh wow, this is pretty cool. And a lot of people they're a little pissed about it, but some are happy. So the 4-issue comic is called Spider-Man 94. And what it's going to do, it's going to revolve around the cliffhanger of the 90s Spider-Man animated series. So I can't say I remember what happened, but I just know that it ended on a cliffhanger and that was it. There was no more series after that. So this comic is basically doing what X-Men 97 did on Disney Plus.
Yep,
So a lot of
that's
people
true.
are pissed because they want the X-Men 97 style for Spider-Man because we saw him in the series. So I don't know. I'm okay with this. I think it'd be pretty good. I would like to see a cartoon, but again, I'm loving that new series that they have on there, the Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. I like that one.
One thing that I am looking forward to that's coming out as well is you ever hear of a guy named Eric Powell?
Eric Powell?
He's
No,
a
like he
he's a
wasn't on Charles
comic
in Charge,
he's
was
a
he?
comic book writer and artist. He does this book called he's known for a book called The Goon.
Yeah, yeah, okay,
Okay.
okay.
Okay, so you know who the Goon is. But Eric Powell recently wrote a book called Look, Did You Hear What Ed Did? And it's a comic book graphic novel about Edward Gein. Okay. And now he's doing a new series, a new graphic novel called All About the Elephant Man.
Oh, okay.
So I'm really looking forward to that. And I love everything like anything that he does. I think is just phenomenal. I get a kick out of him. I love his warped sense of humor. I love his art style. Everything about him,
I
I think, is
really
just
like the Goon
fantastic.
book.
And the Goon is just amazing. The Goon is so fun. Um, so that's another book to keep your eye out. That's going to be coming out relatively soon. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'll probably pre-order that. Like I pre-ordered I got on the the Kickstarter for his when he did the. Did you hear what Edward? Did you hear what Ed did? So I got that. I've had that book for a while, and I love it. And his stuff is just great. You want to read a funny book, man? Get Satan Sodomy Baby
And that's the
from
name
Eric
of it,
Powell.
Satan Sodomy Baby.
That's the name of the book. Yeah.
That's crazy. It
Yep.
sounds I mean, the title right there sounds just so bonkers that you would want to read it.
And the what happened was Eric was doing a convention down south somewhere, and he was like in like this little redneck town,
Mm-hmm.
and he got into a bar fight, and he got his ass kicked by a bunch of rednecks. So he basically wrote an anti-redneck comic book.
That's so funny.
And and the goons in it, and just it's so wrong that it's hysterical. And read the front cover is the best cover you'll ever see in your life because there's no art on it. It's just a warning.
Mm-hmm.
And just read the warning because you're just like, this is fantastic.
That's great.
There's two of them. There's one and two. The second one's good, but the first one's chef's kiss.
So while we're talking about comics, as we're
Yes.
winding down, like I love the fact that our show just like we keep it pretty tight and we keep it like within an hour or so. And I'm sure
Yeah.
eventually it's going to start getting longer. But I love the dare I speak the innuendo, but I love the tightness of it. Like
I do.
it's pretty. It works out well for us.
I agree. I agree.
So you had sent me a picture of a comic the other day,
Okay.
and I wanted to like talk to you about it. And the price tag really caught my attention too. 15 cents for a comic. And
Yep.
we'll talk about the year of it too. But the cover was beautifully done. It was like it was like it was painted. It doesn't look like it
Because
was
it was painted.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, it wasn't penciled or anything like
those
that.
covers actually were painted. They were painted.
So the name of the comic is Spaceman. So what
Yep.
year is this from?
The Spaceman book, that book there came out in 1971. Okay. Spaceman started in 1969, 1970. The book that you saw was issue 10 of Spaceman. And that was the Dell Comics. Like, originally Dell was referred to as Dell 4-Color Comics. Okay, and the reason why they were called 4-Color is because all comic strips in the early 1900 only used 4 colors to make all their colors. So don't ask me which ones they are because it just left my head. But so the comic book company called themselves Dell 4-Color Comics. So Dell 4-Color Comics came out in the 1940s, and Dell Comics is probably the most important comic book company in the world, in my opinion.
Okay.
I know that's a big statement because people are thinking DC, Timely, Marvel. Yeah, screw off. It's Dell. And the reason why I say Dell is because Dell put out more comics in the time period that they operated than DC and Marvel and all of them combined. Not only that, they put out some of the most cool and important comics with first appearances and keys than anybody else in history, but they don't get the love that they deserve.
Right.
Okay, so the reason why I say that is like Dell put out the first um pretty much all the Disney comic books. Dell put out all those characters.
Okay.
All the Hanna-Barbera cartoons, Dell did all
Oh,
those. If you look at all of the old 1960s TV shows, Gunsmoke, Zorro, anything like that, Dell put out all of those books. They did and they had all the first comic book appearances for all those people. First comic book appearance of Huckleberry Hound. First comic book appearance of Daffy Duck. First comic book appearance of Donald Duck, Mickey Mouse. First comic book appearance of Scrooge McDuck, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Like, you name it, they had all the first comic book appearances of them. And the cool thing about those books is forever, you used to be able to pick those books up for next to nothing. So you could get like these amazing first appearance books for a couple of dollars here and there. You know, and for decades, those books just never caught on.
mm-hmm.
And then now, finally, people are starting to look and say, holy crap, man, did you see all these books that are out here? And these are all key books. These are all key characters. And these are all, like, really important stuff. And it's like kind of fell through the wayside, and a lot of those books were destroyed and thrown away and different things like that. So they're starting to become a little bit scarce now.
Yeah.
So, and the reason, like we were talking before, I told you I have a theory about things, and this is my conspiracy theory. So, you are going to see within the next couple of years, you are going to see a rise, an astronomical rise in the price of the books in that Dell line, because let's face it, the main characters that we all love today, Batman, Spider-Man, Superman, Iron Man, all those, all your superhero books are so expensive that the average person can't just go and put down $3, $4, $5, $10, $100,000 to buy an original book. But you can put down $150 on the first appearance of, I don't know, say, Yogi Bear.
Okay.
And let's face it, Yogi Bear is a very important pop culture phenomenon.
100%. Yogi Bear.
Yeah,
you said Huckleberry Hound.
Yeah. A Huckleberry, the first appearance of Huckleberry Hound literally has like 4 freaking first appearances in that book besides Huckleberry. You have the first appearances of Slowpoke Rodriguez. You have the first appearance of Speedy Gonzalez. You have so you can afford these type of books because they're sub $100 for most of these books. Like, you can get them like in nice conditions for anywhere between, like, I'm not joking, Rich, $15 to, we'll say, 130 max, 150 max for a very, very nice copy of a Golden Age to Silver Age key character. You can't do that in any other realm. You just can't. Like, a first appearance of Iron Man pre-COVID, you used to be able to buy for $100. Now, and that's a good, it's a rough copy, but complete, all there, non-graded. For $125. Now you can't touch that for under $5.
Wow.
3 to 5. Okay. But you can go back and you can get a Jetsons #1 for $30.
Okay.
And so people are starting to realize, all right, I can't afford these, but I can afford these. So you're going to start to see a switch. You're going to start to see people trying to go and then pick up these Dell books, these important Dell books. And you're going to start to see that people are going to realize, oh, yeah, they printed a whole bunch of these books, but for so long they weren't worth anything and no one was giving a crap about them, that they all got thrown away. And now you're going to realize, oh, these are actually much more rare than I originally anticipated. and then you're going to start seeing those books go up. It's just like the fact in toy collecting. Um, everybody was going after the Masters of the Universe line. Everyone was going after the Star Wars line, the G.I. Joe. So for decades, those those we'll just say blue chip toy lines. You know what I mean? The ones that everybody knows. They just kept increasing in value. But then you had really cool stuff like Boglins, and you had cool stuff like I don't know what else. Mask. Remember those?
Yeah.
Um, you know, like like those type of lines were kind of like forgotten about, and they weren't really going for a lot of money because everyone was trying to get your Transformers. But then everyone collected through their Transformers, they completed their Transformers collections, they completed their Star Wars collections, or they got priced out of those collections, and then they started to look for those oddball stuff. Like I said, My Pet Monster, Boglins, Mask, Tron comics, toys, different things like that. And then Thundercats, and then all of a sudden, those started to become worth a lot of money, and they're starting to rival, if not overtake, some of the more quote-unquote blue chip toys because of the fact that either they're all collected out or priced out of most people's collections.
Yeah, right. Now, real quick, I'm just going to stop you too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's like such a, I don't know if it's such a resurgence of nostalgia, however you want to say it. There's such a resurgence now that they're doing crossovers of characters. Like there's been a Masters of the Universe and Ninja Turtles crossover line. There is, if I'm not mistaken, that's right. Yes, yeah, okay, because I remember seeing the Casey Jones one. But then there's also coming out, there is a Thundercats crossover with He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. And the characters amalgam together, and they look pretty freaking cool.
But not only that, like there's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover with Stranger Things.
Yes, that's right, there is. That's so crazy to me because I love the Ninja Turtles, like the
everyone loves the Turtles.
Yeah. And it's funny because a lot of people always like get shitty about like the love that they have of the 80s cartoon and not realizing like they love that's their Bible, that's their Turtles, but they don't realize that the Turtles came from a black and white comic.
Yep, Eastman and Laird.
Yeah. And they always get shit, and I always like have to chime in a little bit and I don't like to poke the bear, because it's just I go on social media at times just to read the comments of people being shitty with each other because it's fun. It's not. There's no reason. There's no reason to be shitty with each other, but just because you have a keyboard in front of you and they can't see who you are, it just it empowers them a little bit and they grow some balls. So it's fun to see when there's a new Ninja Turtles movie out. There was that Mutant Mayhem, the recent one, and they had made April look different than what she has been in every other movie or from the cartoon, not knowing that April wasn't always a redheaded white woman that that was perceived in the movie. They don't know that. So, but if they went back and did the original, looked at the original of it, it's like, oh, same with I know I'm just blowing off topic, but that's even same with Hellraiser. When the new Hellraiser remake came out on Hulu, and Pinhead was a woman, people lost their shit.
Oh yeah.
It's like, you obviously haven't read Hellbound Heart, the original book that spawned the movies, because in that Pinhead was a woman. And a lot of people like still gets shitty. But and it's almost like you said earlier that when I mentioned about Jaws 3, I've seen that one, how I enjoy that movie. It's almost like that being that that's what they're known, that was their first introduction to Pinhead or April. That Ninja Turtles or Hellraiser, that was their original, and that's what they
Right.
kind of associate with. But anyway, that was just like stupid tangent. Okay, I'm back on track. Okay, so
No, you're good. Yeah, you're good. But like I said, I honestly believe in my heart of hearts that in the next few years, you're going to start seeing people actively hunting down those Dell books just because of they're not going to be able to afford the original superhero books.
yeah,
So you're going to get because people are always going to want like some sort of like that attachment to something original. They're they'll be happy to have like the compendiums. They'll be happy to have the graphic novels. They'll be happy to have the reprints, just for that tactile, able to read, smell the pages. But they're not ever going to be able to have an original just because of how much they're going to be priced out of being able to own it. So if you're able to slide into another another form of an original, it might not be your preferred medium. It might not, you might not be able to have Fantastic Four #1, Iron Man #1, X-Men #1, but you are able to have, the very first printing of, Star Trek #1.
yeah.
Because of Star Trek #1, that book now, and like now, mind you, all the prices that I talk about are all ungraded. I'm talking raw books. So I mean, like a nice copy of Star Trek #1 is going to run you 100 and a quarter, $150,
And that's still reasonable
and that's perfectly reasonable
for a
for a book
collector's
that
item.
came
Yeah,
out in the
100%.
1960s on with iconic material, with iconic characters, with iconic covers.
Now, and
You know,
when I say reasonable too, and I hope everyone, because I hope somebody's not listening, is going reasonable for a comic book, 150. You got to think. When I say reasonable, if you're going to pay the price for something like that, you either A, have to be a collector, or B, have to be a fan of it.
right?
Because just we'll say autographs. Okay. Mark Hamill charges like $800 for an autograph picture of him and a selfie. Okay. Now, do I think like he's Luke Skywalker? He's the Joker. He's the majority of my childhood. Do I think that's still overpriced? Yes, but I could understand because it would mean something to me. I mean,
Considering I met him in the 90s and I got several things signed by him and it only cost me $22,
yeah.
the signature back then. Oh, how the times have changed. Like
Yes.
I still can't believe how much autographs do go for. And you're right. If you're an autograph hunter, if you're going for an autograph, or if you're going for a sketch, or if you're going for something along those lines, that person has to mean something to you. In order for you to wait those lines, in order for you to plunk down that
Mm-hmm.
much money, you have to have some sort of an investment, an emotional investment into
Yes.
that character,
Agree.
into that
We
person.
had went to Steel City Con back in December. Like maybe was it last? No, it wasn't last year. It was the year before last. We went to Steel City Con and we stood in line for 2 hours for Matthew Lillard. And my daughters wanted to meet him in the worst way. My youngest had drew a picture of Skeet Ulrich and Matthew Lillard, the iconic scene where Stu is on the shoulder of Billy from
Okay.
Scream, and like watch a few movies, take a few notes. That line, that scene
Mm-hmm.
right there. That's like iconic, and she drew it, and she wanted to have him autograph it. So we waited 2 hours plus in line. He signed it, got a selfie, and there was four of us. Really, there was me, my two daughters, and my oldest daughter's fiance from Scotland. Um, and he didn't like try to do any extra or anything like that. He's like, "Oh yeah, come on." Super nice guy. Like, I don't know if you've ever had the opportunity to meet Matthew Lillard. If anybody has not, do yourself the favor. He is the most genuine person ever. And he signed. He's like, "Oh my god, this is so cool!" And he signed it. And then he blackened out his tooth on the picture. So,
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, so he has it. She has it framed, but she wanted to get Skeet's autograph too that day. But we were already kind of like pressing for time after waiting in line for him that she didn't get to. And I said, you should have like kind of, because I've seen him the way he interacts with Skeet and Matthews. I'm like talking first name basis already, but yeah, Skeet and Matthews booths were right next to each other. Tables were right next to each other. And I seen them both interact with customers from each other's lines. I told her, I says, not that it would have worked, but you never know. I said, you should have said that you drew this. She didn't even tell him that she drew it. She was I think she was a little nervous, you know? And so when I said, you should have told him that you drew it, and he might have brought him over and was like, hey, check this out and stuff like that. And
yeah, that would have had clout. That would have definitely got that app.
100%. 100%. But who knows?
The worst experience I ever had at a convention was when I used to I was dealing at Steel City Con, and it's just funny that I'm talking about this because me and my buddy Scott, who used to help me out as he used to come with me and help me sell. He was helping me at my tables at the day. My buddy Scott Raphael. We were talking, and it was Lando Calrissian.
Billy D. Williams.
Billy D. Williams. He was at Steel City Con. I was there, and I was like, all right, I'm getting something signed. So Scott's like, what are you getting signed? Because I was mostly dealing in toys then. He's like, you're going to grab one of these to get signed? And I was like, nope. I was like, watch the table. I'll be back in about 45 minutes to an hour.
If you took him a samurai sword, I will die.
So I was like, all right, I'll be right back. So I left. And I came back, and Billy D. Williams was not happy with me. I got him to sign. He signed me a Colt 45.
Oh my god!
Because remember, he used to do the Colt 45.
Yeah, he used to do the Colt 45 commercials.
Yep, I went to a liquor store, bought a 40 of Colt 45,
and he was upset that you
took
had.
It to him. And he was just like, "What the hell is this all about?" He's like, "This is for kids." Blah blah blah. I was like, "It's mine. Sign it."
Wow.
Yeah, he was pissed at me, man. He was a jerk about it too. He almost refused, and I was just like, "Here's your money, man." I was about to be like, "Here's your money, now sign, now dance for me, monkey." But like, yeah, he signed it, but he was like a real jerk, man. He was a jerk.
Wow.
He was a jerk to other people too. Like he wasn't like when he was like signing stuff, he wasn't like, he was just like, yeah, okay, whatever. And he made this big spectacle when he came in. He had like, it was ridiculous, and he was just a jerk.
Wow.
Like, I don't like to talk crap on people, but he was a jerk. That's all I'm going to say. Everybody else I've ever dealt with, dude, me and Scott sat next to the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkov for 3 days, and they were the coolest people I've ever dealt with. They could barely speak English, but they were the guy. But we had such a blast.
I've always heard that about those guys.
They were so nice, and it was cool because the Iron Sheik was telling me how he was like the bodyguard for the Sheik of Iran and everything like that. I mean, like, we had a blast. Like, I had a great time with him. So many other celebrities. I think I told you about, we talked about the one time with the Walking Dead guys.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I've met hundreds of celebrities and artists and everything like that. And out of the hundreds that I've met, I've had maybe 2, maybe 3 bad experiences. But Billy D. Williams is the worst one. And one of the coolest ones, though, and everyone always talks crap, but one of the coolest ones for me was John Cusack.
Oh wow! See, I've heard some mixed stuff about him too. And I'm thinking I'm going to stop you on talking about this experience because I'm thinking this will make a good show for next week.
Bridge for next week. Okay,
Yes,
sounds good to me.
100%. I love talking about meeting people like this, and we've talked like before we even started the show about about some of the people, about your experiences, some of my experiences, and there some of them are pretty good, and I think we should definitely do an episode on that.
One thing before we wrap up.
Yeah.
There was a feature film filmed over in Brownsville. Um,
Yes.
they just finished wrapping. They just wrapped up the filming there. The other day, like 2 days ago,
It
and
was a
it's
Hershey
all
movie.
about the life of Milton Hershey.
Yeah. Yeah. Alexandria Daddario's in it,
Yep.
and I'm sorry, but his name is. I'm gonna know him. I'm gonna throw him out there as Dandy from American Horror Story season 4 with Twisty the Clown, and that's where I know him from.
And
But and I can't remember his name.
Cameron from what's it called? Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He's in it too.
Oh, Alan Ruck.
Yep, Alan Ruck.
Oh
I
no
couldn't remember
shit.
his name.
Oh no shit.
I think Alan Ruck might be one of the main characters too.
Really? See, and
Yeah.
I like him. I just watched. Speaking of Cusack, Alan Ruck. Oh my god! I just watched. I completely forgot about it. I watched it Wednesday. I watched Bratz, and yeah, that not the movie about the dolls. Bratz. It was a documentary by Andrew McCarthy where he was going around talking to all the people that was in or subcategorized as the Brat Pack.
Yep.
And when I was watching it, there was a movie that came up. I was like, I've never seen that, so I'm going to watch it. It's on Tubi, and it's called Class, and it stars a very young Andrew McCarthy.
That's John Cusack's very first movie.
Oh, so you've seen
1982. I have it on DVD.
it? That's like it's such a. The ending is. I don't know. Everything about this movie is just so 80s. Like it screams 80s. But it
Yep.
has Alan Ruck, John Cusack, Rob Lowe, Andrew McCarthy, um, Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben from the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, Cliff Robertson.
Yep.
He's in it.
Yep.
I recommend this movie to go check out. It's on Tubi. It's definitely an 80s movie. I think you'll enjoy it. If not, then you just watched a precursor to all John Hughes movies.
I just rewatched. Speaking of 80s movies, I just rewatched The Explorers the other day.
Oh my god, I love that movie. Ethan Hawke, River
Yep.
Phoenix.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep. I just I'm on a Facebook group that does all. They remake like life-size props from movies, and the guy actually remade. It took him 17 years, but he actually made a life-sized version of the spaceship from the movie using all the original materials.
I saw
It's
that.
phenomenal.
I wonder if I'm part of that 80s
And
group too. Because like
and
I
that
did
just
see it
made
or
me.
somebody
I was
else
just like,
posted.
when I saw that, I was just like, holy crap! It just jogged me, and I just went straight to that movie. And I found it. I think it was on Tubi too, and I found it on Tubi. And when I got home from work last week, and I was like, I gotta watch this. And I just sat and I watched it, and it was like heaven. But yeah, but I did send you some pictures of the
It's actually on
of
Pluto.
the filming of Brownsville.
Yes.
So
Yeah, I'll have to post this.
so
I didn't get a chance to, and I saw that you had posted them. Oh wow!
if you on our Lights Camera Pop page, if you wanted to post any of those pictures, go ahead and do it on that, so people can see like the transformation of Brownsville into 1800s. And if you want to post a picture of that, the comic that we were talking about earlier, go ahead and do that as well.
Yes, I will definitely do that.
Just so people can kind of see what like gives them a little bit of a visual representation of the crap that we talk about.
Yes. And that I will conclude by saying that's a wrap. You can follow us at what is it? Nomad underscore comics underscore collectibles on
Yep.
Instagram, Lights Camera Pop Pod, or the Lights Camera Pop on Facebook. Definitely follow us there. You can email us at lightscamerapoppod at outlook.com and email us anything. Just say hi. Just email us and give us a topic for the show. Questions, comments, answers, solutions. If you want to send us a recipe, it don't matter. It's fine.
Yeah, if you have any ideas like or things that you want us to cover or like what we feel on certain things that you guys, like the burning questions that live deep in your heart on comic books and cartoons and music and movies and pop culture, just get at us. We might not have the answer, but we'll pretend we do.
Absolutely, 100%. We will fake it until we make it. And also, we are on Apple Podcasts finally. So you can stream us on Apple Podcasts, Podbean, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Amazon Music. And I'm sure YouTube will be coming too. So that's kind of in the works too. So you can follow us all there. And on that note, take care, everybody. Have a great week, and we will be back next week to get your geek on.
See you guys. Have a great night.